Just looking at an empty room at the moment. A blurred out empty room. Not really sure where Charlie's gone. Think he's probably having a wank. He likes to do that now and then, apparently. Good morning, everyone. I'm Chris. As you know where Charlie is. Probably having an argument with his wife.
Oh, very close.
Here he is, look. We're live.
I'm spitting pears.
We're live, mate. We've got people watching this.
Oh shit! Right, okay.
I thought I was taking a long time to come back, mate. But yeah, I thought I'll just press record and say hello to the viewers and let them know what you do when you're not there.
You don't do much, do you?
Masturbation and arguing with the wife.
You know what? I got into trouble. I just get into trouble. You just get into trouble at this age, don't you? You don't argue. You get into trouble. I mean, I got into bad trouble this morning. I've got like a little set of a little set of dumbbells, you know, and
I've got a box down there. I bought them like last year. I've not even opened the box.
So my missus has this thing. She wants to get fit. So they're in our bedroom at the moment because she's never used them. She never used them. She just has a she's not one of those people, you know, like me. I'll follow stuff through and I'll carry on doing it, you know. And she doesn't. And then when I tell her, because you're not trying, you're not consistent and all that, I just get an earful. So you're basically just better off not saying anything, aren't you? So anyway, yeah. So this morning, you know, my lads, he's panicking about not being able to play on rugby, this rugby tournament on Sunday. He said it's going to be 4 to 6 weeks. I'm just going to strap his ankle up and let him play. That's what I'm going to do. I've had a word with the coaches, and that's what we're going to do. But I haven't told him that, just in case it gets worse or whatever. So this morning he heard all this noise. What the fucking hell's going on? So he's got like... So basically I've got these resistance straps and he's found them, and then he's got them all tied up to his door and all over the banister and all that, and he's doing all this resistance stuff.
How old is he?
He's 11, so he's doing all this resistance stuff. But I got him a pull-up bar.
Yeah.
And you just clip it up over the door frame. So he had that out and he's doing these pull-ups as well. So he's doing all this morning. Then I'm like, I'm having a dump. And you know, when you got kids, you can't have a dump in peace, can you? I'm having a dump, just checking out our stats on Facebook and that. And he comes in and he's like, "Oh, those dumbbells there, can I put them in my rooms?" Of course you can. Your mum doesn't use them. Put them in. It's like the next minute, like the wife comes in. "What are you doing?" And she's tidied the whole house recently. I don't know why. I think you know, now and again women just go crazy, tidy everything.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you just every now and again you just have a mad clear out. She's been tidying everything the last 2 days. Like, she's pissed off because she can't hoover when I'm doing the pod. Yeah, I've been tidying this house for 2 days and your room's a mess. And I go, oh shit, I've just Garland. Oh no, don't come in here, it stinks. You know, so he got into trouble. Then I get into trouble. Oh yeah, so it was, yeah. So,
talking about stuff like that, though, I think I mentioned about hobbies and stuff like that. I didn't even mention them. So I got into trying to sell stuff on TikTok. So I bought this thing where it's dumbbells, but then there's a bar in between that you can attach, so it turns into a barbell. And I really ought to get it out and have a go on them, to be fair. They're not very heavy weights, so it's like loads of reps. But I take after my mum so badly. And I remember when we were growing up, my dad got my mum an exercise bike and it never got used. And this, that, and the other. But she's not grown out of it. Like, so she mentioned to my dad recently, I don't know if I've mentioned this on the pod, that she wanted an electric bike. And I think she just mentioned it in passing, but my dad's got this thing. He just buys stuff randomly now. And the next thing you know, he's bought her a fucking electric bike, which she's not even been out on, I don't think. Maybe once. Maybe she's been out and just tested it up and down the street once. But because they'd not got anywhere to put it, he then had to buy a shed. So I went to fucking Wales to visit my mum and dad.
I remember you said you put a shed up. Yeah,
and I got there and we put it all up back to front, mate, and everything. But it's there, it's done, it's fine. My dad started like building it, and I just went. I thought, right, I'll crack on. It's like these like metal kind of things. You screw them in, whatever. Followed the instructions to the letter, but we got like halfway. I think we built 2 of the walls, and I go, Dad, I'm sure they wouldn't put the part number on the outside. So we've done it all. And went, that's what it is. But yeah,
I might buy those dumbbells off you. I quite like those ones.
yeah, it's a good idea because like, I don't know how good they are.
They're the ones where you sort of like dial what weight you want. You sort of like dial it in what weight you want, and then they.
No, they're dead good. They are. You mean the one where you just like you clip a thing and it picks up how much you want? They're dead good. I had some of those years ago. They were good, but got rid of them. I had a weight bench, I had barbell, dumbbell, everything in here. But
I never went through that phase.
I got rid of it in the end because it just ended up being like somewhere where the wife had hang clothes to dry.
Yeah, I had a running machine in the last house because we had like a big garage there, and the postman just said to me one day, he said, "Are you doing anything with your running machine?" So now you can have it if you want, mate. He said, "Oh, cheers, thanks." So just before we moved as well, which was handy. So
I think, like, obviously it was a London marathon, wasn't it? And like a few of my mates on Facebook did it, and they're all posting about how they've done the London marathon. I just don't get it, mate.
I know I don't. I've got a next. I've actually talked about next door neighbours. I've got something really funny to tell you about the next door neighbour. But we've got one who lives opposite us, and he's really into his running. So he did the Boston Marathon a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And like he come back.
Where all the money is in Cheshire, can't you?
Yeah. So we did this on.
Where are you going?
Like, and then he did. So like a week later, he did the London Marathon. So he was in London last week doing the London Marathon, but he's always out running away. And he loves it. I couldn't do it. I don't see, but then again, he doesn't see why I like custard creams.
Mate, one of my comedy mates, Kyle, I can't remember what it's called. We'll have to get him on and chat about it, but he just did an event which was 200 miles over a certain number of days, and he was telling me about it, and it sounded absolutely fucking horrific. Because you got like times where you go in and you get food and there's like food and whatever breaks, and you were allowed to sleep for X amount of hours, but you were only allowed to sleep for that time. So they wake you up and go, "It's time to fuck off, mate. Go." And he posted his finish. So I think he might have finished last, right? But he's a fit lad. He's a rugby. He used to play rugby and he's a referee for rugby. But he properly got injured like 6 or 7 weeks before he did this, and he still went and did it, mate. And you know what I mean? 200 fucking miles. I get shin splints walking to the fucking shop. You know what I mean? Mad. I remember years ago, the missus said, "Oh, it'd be a good idea to do one of these park runs." So we all turned up, pinned my number on. I've not trained. I've not done any running at all. It was only 2K, and I got to about 400 metres, and I thought, I'm not fucking doing this. So I walked back. Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, I've never been a good runner. I mean, I can run, but I've never been one for enjoying a run or thinking, what, I'm going to go out and do fucking the couch to 5K. I did it. I was doing it on me running machine. That's why I had the running machine. But I'm more into I'm more into weights and
you fucker.
Yeah, I need that. I'm more into weights and stuff like that, and yeah. Anyway.
I've been seeing loads of posts on Facebook about calisthenics being the way to go if you're over 40, because they reckon if you just go in. I've always liked to go in the gym and do weights. I've never really been the one for the cardio, and I'll go through phases where I'll go like 4 or 5 mornings a week for a couple of months, and then it'll go to 3 and 2 and 1, and then I'll just end up going for a sauna and not bothering with the gym. Terrible.
Yeah, I think I'll probably join the gym again. I'm quite happy just doing what I do, and I have a little routine every morning. I mean, I think over Easter I never did it for a few days, but I might do it for a couple of weeks. But I'm back into it again now, and I do it every Monday to Friday. Yeah. And it's just like a little routine, just some stretching, some press ups, some sit ups, and some dead bugs. I love doing dead bugs, and stuff like that.
Dead bugs?
Mountain climbers and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know. You lost me at sit-up. Lost me there, mate. But yeah,
let me quickly tell you about my neighbour that I was going to tell you about before. I think this is quite funny.
because everyone's
Talking about the guy who does the running opposite as well, because he was laughing his head off. But the neighbour next door, he's got like he's got a Land Rover. And,
doesn't listen to the pod, does he?
No.
He should be.
Yeah, he should be. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, I don't really talk to him. He just annoys me. He's one of those neighbours who just annoys you. You know what I mean? And he's always out washing his car, no matter what the weather. Honestly, snowing, raining, whatever the weather, he washes his car 3 or 4 times a week. This Land Rover, and his missus has got one as well. You know, anyway, he had a problem with his Land Rover. The alarm kept going off, but it kept going off for like 11:30 at night. Just silly hours, 2 o'clock in the morning. Wake the fucking kids up. It was quite loud, you know what I mean? And it was going on for months actually. But I'd slept through most of it. But I had about where I wasn't sleeping too well. And like, you know, and it was fucking annoying. So one morning I was out, and he was out washing his car, and I was taking some stuff to the tip. It was an old trampoline, beginning of spring. And spring, you like that, trampoline? You should have got onto that, being a comedic genius. Anyway, so I went over to him, said, "Hey mate, any chance of sorting your car alarm out?" And he's like, yeah, fine. And the neighbours are all moaning about it as well. The runner's wife, she was moaning about it. And he said, yeah, I'll sort it out. He said, you know what, I've had it booked into the garage for ages, but you know, it takes ages. Anyway, as soon as he had the word, it stopped. I don't know what he did, but he stopped. I don't know if he took the fuse out in it or whatever. It stopped. So I said to the neighbours, "It's all sorted now. Have you heard it? You know, it's gone. I've had a word with them. It's all sorted." And they're all dead happy. We get a Land Rover, don't we? Yeah. And like last week, we had a problem with the fucking alarm.
So everyone's coming to you now. Fucking boo.
The irony of it. I've sorted it. But anyway, it started fucking going off. It was just so fucking ironic.
Why didn't you just go, it must be him?
Yeah, but apparently, the guy who was running, I saw he coming in from work the other day, and I said, "Oh, I'm sorry about the alarm." Because I said, "You're right, Jamie." And he said, "Can you sort your fucking alarm out?" And I said, "Yeah, I've sorted it." I was sorting it that day, because when Jamie come in, I was just testing all the buttons on the fob, because I got a new fob for it, changed all the electrics, and put a new battery in it, and it's fine now. And I said, "Yeah, I'm just testing it." I said, "I've just tested." They've got like a panic alarm on them. I was just testing the panic alarm was working. And he said it was so funny when your alarm was going off, because I was going, the fucking alarm's going off again. And he's out because his lights were going on and off, because he's trying to switch it off and he wouldn't go off. He said, "Do we realise it was your car?"
He's in his ass, right?
Oh, that just fucking made my day yesterday. It was so funny.
I thought when Joe decided not to do this pod that we wouldn't have any more of these ridiculous stories anymore. You've fucking hell, mate, you've just come up to the plate, haven't you? Road rage and car alarms and dumbbells and running machines and.
It was so funny. I mean, that whole story with that car alarm's been so ironic, because even like I told the guy, and he said, "Yeah, I'll sort it out." So I went back into the down side of our house to get some more shit to throw in the back of the car. And when I was picking it up, his fucking alarm went off. There you go, fucking told you, get it sorted. But it's just like, oh no, you didn't realise. Oh, it was just so funny yesterday though, when he fucking.
His lights going on and off in his on his car. Must mean.
Anyway, enough car road rage. I've got a few questions for you. That's what I was trying to pick up before.
Yes.
Right. Okay. We've.
What's the topic?
I'm going to do some questions. There's no topic, because I got a load this morning while I was in bed.
Go on then.
So there's no. I can give.
It's not as slick as when I did it. This is it. listeners.
No,
Viewers.
no, it's not as slick. It's not as slick.
Drop us a message on hello@funnyfarmpod.co.uk if you think I'm better than Charlie at quiz mastering.
You know what? You probably are.
I don't know, mate. Yeah, I think you could have.
I've got that many. Right. Okay. See. Yeah. Okay. So this is about culture. Okay. Let's see. I think we might have touched on this yesterday. So, are we actually more divided, or just louder about it?
We are definitely more loud about stuff, aren't we? It's weird because we talked about freedom of speech, didn't we, yesterday or the other day? And we were saying, like, you know, it's there's a lot of censorship happening. I think we're louder about it because I know for a fact that, like, I mean, you look at, I was watching a program, I don't know if you ever saw it, my daughter's got into the Carry On films, and Sid James died when I wasn't even born. It was 1976 when Sid James...
Yeah, it was in the 70s. It was weird, I was reading about him the other day. He was born in 1914, he was born.
Yeah, he died on stage and stuff, didn't he? But I loved the Carry On films growing up, and my daughter, for some reason, who's a massive feminist, like she's proper in. Well, I don't think she is. I think it's just that her grandma would like her to be. And we watched it. It wasn't a spin-off from the Carry On films, but it had a lot of the Carry On cast in. It's called Bless This House. I don't know if you ever saw that.
Yeah. I remember Bless This House. Yeah.
So we watched the movie and. Back then, so you run in the 70s. I mean, Sid James died in 76, so it's before that, obviously. And his daughter in the programme is an activist about the climate and, you know, she's ecology and all that stuff, you know, with killing the planet. Your generation's killed the planet and this, that and the other. So, like, 50 years ago, they were going on about this. And so there's that. So that you're left wing. And then I know for a fact, growing up in a village, that there's been these right-wing views like held quite strongly by people, because that was how it was in your local pub. Until you go into like the inner city, there was no, like, you know, with regards to racism, misogyny, all that kind of stuff. There was no holds barred in the local pub. It was almost like, you know, somebody would get on the soapbox about it. But now I think we're louder because of social media, aren't we? We're louder because everything's in the public domain now. So if the right wing do something, it's on social media. If the left wing do something, it's on social media. They can, like, whereas, like, back in the day, part of that thing is she's on the phone to a friend and she's like, you need to come down and campaign against these tins. They shouldn't be made and all this, that and the other. On the phone. But now you can just set up a WhatsApp group with hundreds of people in or whatever and go, right, we're meeting here, we're doing this. It's all on social media. So, like, the answer to the question, I think that the views have always been there, but because of social media and the internet, we're just louder about it now.
I understand where you're coming from. I think back in the day, back in those days, though, I mean, newspapers, the press, I think, you know, just like paper media was a lot more prevalent than what it is now, obviously, because of like emails and you know, the birth of emails and social media and that. But I don't think you can really take away how big it was then, because I mean it's minuscule now, the newspapers and that type of media, than what it was back in the 70s.
Yeah. Well, news is up to the minute now. You know.
It's basically live. Yeah.
I mean, I remember doing my paper round, and if you were half an hour late dropping somebody's paper in, they'd often come out and go, where have you fucking been? I'm waiting for my newspaper. And now there's no requirement for that. Like you just mentioned, you know, you can be sat on the toilet having a dump and you can be reading about Trump, or you can be reading about Greta Thunberg, or you can be reading about football, or you know, everything's up to the minute, you know, so there's no need to wait for your news anymore. I remember there'd be like magazines that you'd deliver once a week and stuff. The Radio Times. There's no need for it anymore. There's absolutely no need for stuff like that anymore.
It's like at Christmas, wasn't it? Like your posh mates had the Radio Times.
Yeah.
And if you weren't posh, you'd have the fucking supplement with the news of the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was the same on Grand National Day. If your posh mates would have the Racing Post, but if you weren't, you'd have the supplement with the fucking Mirror or something. It's.
And now you just Google Ladbrokes or Betfred, and it tells you who's running every race. You can put all your bets online and all this, that, and the other. So it's just got louder. It's funny because when I was watching that Bless This House, I'd watched it years ago with my dad, and I never picked up on like the little social bits and bobs of it because it was like that was when feminism was kind of coming through strongly because like the woman, the wife, who was the only one who I'd never really seen in a Carry On film. All the rest of the cast were Carry On. They'd been in Carry On films and stuff. But she was like getting a stall on the market and going out to work, and Sid James would put up some resistance. You don't need to do that. Why is my wife going out working? And all that kind of stuff. Yeah. It's all coming through, and the daughter was doing all the activism stuff, and the son, who was Robin Asquith in the film, like Confessions of a Gardener and Confessions of a Window Cleaner and all that stuff. Very sexist kind of films, you would say now. People, I mean, I love them, but people would say now it's misogynistic and you can't do this. That, and that. He was marrying the next door neighbour's wife, the next door neighbour's daughter, and they didn't even ask for permission. They were talking about it, and Sid and him went for a pint to discuss it. And then they just said, like, the wedding's in order. When they came back to the house, they're like, yes, we've decided that you can marry, and there'll be a long engagement, and all this, that, and the other. And then the wife just goes, the wedding's in August. They'd already made all the plans, no discussion on permission from parents or anything like that. It was like, it's done and dusted. So it's like quite, at that time, I suppose, you'd gone from all the sexism bits, and this has got, like, it's got that in it. It's got that kind of the time misogyny, as you would call it. But then it's got like newfangled ideas like the activism and like the women's lib and all that stuff. So the views have always been there, haven't they?
Yeah.
But because of the internet, because of social media, celebrity, all this stuff, it's all just widely available. So it is like, it's noise, isn't it? You scroll through the phone and you can find all this stuff. So just louder.
Yeah.
Good question.
Well, good question.
Good question.
Is money the biggest driver behind most decisions?
In my life, or are we talking generally?
In general, I mean, let's talk about like
politics. 100%. It's all about big business, isn't it? All the trouble in the Middle East and whatnot. It's all about oil generally, isn't it? So, and it's affecting us. The working people, it's affecting us massively because of the hike in fuel prices and stuff. I was like ill yesterday. I filled my car up and it went over 50 quid, and I'm like, for fuck's sake, I've got a 1 litre Fiesta. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. But I think that certainly in my life was driven by money right up until the last 2 or 3 years. When I've realised, like, I've done good stuff with earning money, 40 mortgage off. That was a hard work from my perspective. I was paying a lot every month off to get it done. But we also had a bit of luck that Jane had already got a house, so half of that got put down, and then I paid the rest. And everything like that. So, we've had a bit of luck. I'm not going to say that we haven't. I've had some good jobs, and I've always been kind of driven personally by money. It shouldn't be, though, because I think I said this to somebody the other day. It was like, no matter how much money you have, if you weren't happy before it, you won't be happy with it. Nationally, globally, decisions are made purely and simply by money, aren't they? It's
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. I mean, this whole war in Iran is like they're looking for more billions of dollars, aren't they, to continue with whatever's going on, and it's all going to Congress at the moment. And I think they're on the 60 days, I think, on Friday, the 60 days where they've got to get Congress approval and stuff like that. But yeah, it is, I don't know if they thought that they could walk in there, just take Iran's oil, like they've done with Venezuela, you
yeah,
know. And I think that's all solely been about oil and about helping the,
territory.
yeah,
That territory, isn't it, as well? Which is scary because you can go all the way back to obviously Nazis and stuff. Then can't you? And go right. Well, obviously there was the Jewish thing. That they kind of blamed everything on the Jewish community, and that was obviously horrific. But the fact that they just right, we're going to go and we're going to take over the world kind of thing, and like you look at obviously Russia into Ukraine. And all that kind of stuff. Power and money is, I think, the major driving force for pretty much everything. I mean, why? I mean, if you look at it like logically, why is Donald Trump? He's got absolutely. He's billionaire, isn't he?
yeah.
He's got so much money that him and his generational wealth for his family is infinite. So why did he decide he wanted to be president?
He wants to go down in history. I think he sees himself as an Alexander the Great figure or something like that. He wants to be remembered in history. And I don't really think he gives a shit how he wants to be remembered. He can be a Caligula, he can be whatever. I don't think he really gives a shit. I think at first he did, but I just think, he's gone around renaming everything in America, hasn't he? And the Trump monuments and shit like this, and I think he's got himself on. He's got himself on some money as well. On some notes. I don't know, or he's trying for that. But apparently, a living president cannot go on to them. So I think there's a bit of a backlash against that. Or if he has done it, I think that, they're trying to get it, revoked. But so they can't do it. But I think that's what it's all about with him. I don't think it's about anything in particular. He just wants to leave this fucking legacy, and he's obsessed with it. It's not the money. He doesn't give a shit. He's lost that much money. He doesn't give a shit about it, doesn't he? He's lost that much money, and he doesn't give a shit who loses money while he's making money, or whether he loses money while he's making money, or whether whose money he's losing. He hires fucking contractors and doesn't pay them. He doesn't give a fuck.
If you listen to a lot of like the business gurus now, they kind of talk about you can never have enough wealth, you can never have enough money. So it's like if you think that you've got enough money, then you're not. You're basically scum. You should be thinking, how can I make more money? How can I, build more or buy more? How can I, attain more wealth? But is that like you say? Is that about like the manosphere stuff that we touched on a while back? Is that kind of promoting people to go out there and just get money, no matter who it hurts, who it harms, who it scams?
Well, that's what it's like at the moment, isn't it? But even like Elon Musk, we spoke about Elon Musk, and I found that little insight, didn't he, about how much wealth he's actually got, and and he's going to be the first world's trillionaire, isn't he? But the way he went into Twitter or whatever company goes into, when he just fucking guts it, shake down, you're sacked, it's just.
There's like hope in some of this stuff because you have got proper good people out there. I mean, we talked about Ricky Gervais yesterday.
Yeah.
And one of his shticks is that he's come from a working class background back in the day, and he's now rich. He doesn't, and some of his comedy it's funny. He's like, he'll go on about hanging about with people. I don't have to hang about with them anymore because I've got loads of money. This, that, and the other. But he gives millions of pounds every year to animal charities.
Yeah.
I know that there's the tax write-off element of giving to charity, but there's also I read something, I don't know how true this is. It was Forest News. So Elliot Anderson lost his mum recently. We had like a clap at the last match for her, and he turned up and played that game, and fair play to him because literally a few days earlier he'd lost his mum at a young age. She wasn't very old at all. I think she was in her 40s, she
Yeah.
old at all. And then I read something on Facebook, so you take it and leave it how true it is, but he was giving all of his sign-on bonus and all that kind of stuff to charity, and it was millions to some form of charity. Ronaldo gives loads of money to charity every single year. I'm sure Trump does. But some of it is like, is it a tax write-off? Because even if you're still giving that money away, it's like
Yeah. I suppose you're right there. No, there is some good, but how much wealth do these people really need? How much wealth does one person really need?
Well, if I was to say to you today, for you to be happy now, I could give you a sum of money. How much would you need for you, your kids, and your wife to be you're 57 now? You've got 10 years before you're going to get a pension. If you could have enough money, you can still work if you want to, but to be comfortable and happy with that sum of money, how much would it be?
Me, probably, I don't know really. I don't know. I've never really thought about that. You just get on with stuff, don't you? And that's the way I like doing what I do. And that's it. Just to say you can sort of be financially free and you don't have to worry about stuff.
This financially free. The gurus go on about this, don't they? Like this financially secure, and then this financially free. So financially secure for me, if I got $250,000 in the bank, I'd still do my comedy, I'd still do all that kind of stuff. But
yeah.
I've got that cash in the bank. I can invest it in some investment, and that would mean that I'm secure in the rest of my life.
Mine would probably be about $1 million because, I've got the kids and that. I've got the family to support for the next. And that's it.
You see, the thing is, if you've got $1 million, you can make loads more.
Oh yeah.
It's like you that would grow. You wouldn't lose that money. So if you had that money in the bank, and I think $500,000 would be the same.
Yeah. Even 250,000, even 100,000. I could turn 100,000 around.
Yeah, and it's like, but you've not gone I wouldn't be happy until I've got 10 million or 100 million.
No.
And and a lot of people have that in their head, and I did. I was like, I want to be a millionaire, and that's just gone from me because there's no point. I look at myself now, and I'm 47, and I think to myself, well, yeah, if I'd got that money right now, I'd be able to do loads with it. But to build that amount of money and just to keep that drive and determination that you have to earn that kind of cash, I'm foregoing family time, I'm foregoing my mental health. All that stuff that actually makes you happy. So, would you prefer to be happy or rich? And it's 1,000,000% happy.
Oh yeah. But I just want to get myself into a situation where, like you are. I mean, I've got the kids, so mine's a different beast at the moment. But where you just have to, you can just do so many, because you've got your recruitment business, haven't you? And you're going out doing stuff that you like, and you're still getting paid for it. Aren't you? With your acting and with your comedy. All right, not all your gigs and acting gigs are paid, but you're enjoying it, And I sort of want to be in that situation, but I can't do that. So I've got to look after the kids at the moment. And while I'm looking after the kids, I'm building my pot, and I'm going to be in that situation in a few years' time. Yeah. Oh, you never know what's around the corner. I'm a great believer in, always believe there's something amazing's going to happen. You know, something amazing is going to happen, and it could be, you know what, fuck it. All I need to do now is the pod. That's all I need to do. Just need to do the pod, take the kids to school, come home, do the pod, go for a run.
I think something amazing happens every day, mate, and it's when you wake up in the morning and you're still here, and you know you still got health. I mean, we've both got health problems, but we're not bad. There's always somebody who's a lot worse off than we are, and but I don't understand. I kind of got into that mentality when I was a bit younger about needing to earn money.
You do.
The flashness of what you can do if you've got that cash. But I think I've grown out of that a bit now, and it is about, you know, how can I do just what I need to do to still keep adding to the pot. I'm still wanting to add to the pot because I've certainly not got enough money to retire. I've got enough where I perhaps wouldn't have to work for a year or two and I'd be okay. I'd come out the other side of it okay. But I've got my business which is doing good anyway, so it's kind of, you know, everything's going well. But I could push that. I could say, fuck the pod, fuck the comedy, fuck the acting. I'm just going to focus on the recruitment business, and I think I could potentially retire a millionaire. But I wouldn't be as happy, and I wouldn't be seeing you every day doing this, and I wouldn't be spending as much time with the kids and enjoying going out and making people laugh and doing what I do. And this is therapy for me, doing the pod. Getting on stage and talking about shit is therapy for me. And acting is like brilliant. It's like you get out of your head for a couple of hours and pretend to be somebody else and really get into that character. And it's just really, it's good for you, good for your mental health. It just keeps you going.
It does. Good
question.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are at 36 minutes, so we've gone on a little bit there, sir. Give us a message. We only got 2 questions out there, but it was good discussion on both of them. So, about power and about whether or not stuff's louder now, or has it always been there. And I think we've come to the conclusion together that it's always been there. It's just louder now because of the internet and power, money. From a global level, things are run on that basis. But you know, from an insular family business perspective, you know, you've got to be happy. You've just got to be happy. Otherwise, you won't do anything. You won't. I think if you're happy in what you do every day and you work hard, you know, we're not saying don't work. You know, we said work hard at it and be happy in what you do. I think, like you've said, in a couple of years, the cash will come. You'll be in a position where, you know, everything's going to be fine. And neither of us are the finished product.
No, of course not.
No. Anyway, any views on that? hello@funnyfarmpod.co.uk. Follow us on all of our socials. You know where they are. Get Charlie out of that Everton shirt. Follow me.
Yeah, get me out of this.
Yeah, follow me on my socials. Chris Richmond on Facebook, @ChrisRichComedian on Instagram and TikTok. We will see you tomorrow, probably for some. Oh no, we'll see you tomorrow with Joe. So Joe, who was one of the co-founders of the Funnyfarm Pod, unfortunately life got in the way and he had to step away from that. We are planning on it. I was talking to him the other day and he is going to come on more as a guest, but he's on tomorrow as a guest. So please don't miss that one. Write into us, I can't say write into us and give us any questions for Joe because this won't be out until after.
Yeah.
Anyway, we love you all. We'll see you tomorrow with Joe.
See you guys.